Recording in progress.
Yes, please kindly confirm my audio is loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you for confirming. Thank you for confirming. Okay, so one sec. Thank you. I see the emojis. Yes, so I think we can get started right now. Thank you so much, everyone, once again for joining. Welcome to the masterclass on setting and slaying your goals for 2024. I know we're gradually coming to the end of 2023. We're all preparing for Christmas, and we're looking forward to having an amazing time. I'm not sure what the year has been for you, but when Christmas comes, we all forget about what has happened. At least there'll be rice and chicken, and we can also relax. And some of us are going to get some time off work. So I wish that we all do have happy Christmas celebrations. So welcome, and I'm very honored and glad to have you join. Thank you for registering for the masterclass. I do not take it for granted. I just want to do a few housekeeping rules. Please, if you can put on your video, it really does help when you have your video on so that we can make it as interactive as possible. Another thing having your video would do is to ensure that you are active. We don't want to be in Zoom and we're doing other things because trust me, this is going to be a bit different. The second thing I would like to say, thank you, Olubumi, I can see your video on. Thank you so much. The second thing I would like to say is get a pen and a paper. I know we're coming for a masterclass. I'm not saying this is a school, but really, I believe there are nuggets that will be shared tonight that might be very useful for you, whether you're still, having goals you still want to eat for the rest of this year, or as you plan for 2024. So you will need your pen and paper. And if you do not want to get a pen and paper, it's fine, but we are going to be having some activities that we're going to, juggle our brains, get some work done as well, just to help us get into the flesh of setting and slaying our goals. Another thing I would like to recommend is get a bottle of water. Because you don't want to feel dehydrated. If you have anything you can munch on, please do get that as well, because I think you would need those. I would also want to say, find a quiet place to sit. It's very important that you sit in a place that is quiet and you're focused at this time. If you've attended any of my webinars before, you would know that I'm very huge when it comes to time. So we do not intend to waste anybody's time. One sec, I just want to mute people as they come in so that we don't have fluctuations. Yes. I'm not going to waste our time. It's going to be very timely. We were going to spend the next 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours together, depending on how far we're able to go, but we would not exceed that number of hours. And finally, be ready to engage. Just engage, ask questions. If anything is resonating with you, if anything makes sense, put in the chat box. That way it helps us keep engaged. Thank you. I'm done with the housekeeping rules, and I just want to go straight into the meat of the day. So let me share my screen, please. Okay. Please confirm you can see my screen. Anyone see my screen? Yes, thank you, Dorica, for confirming. Welcome. Welcome to just joining us. Thank you. You joined at the right time. We're just about to start. So, set and slay your goals. Roadmap for a successful 2024. Most of the things we'll be sharing tonight might not be new to you, because everybody, I want to assume, and I want to believe that we all know how to set goals. But sometimes we fall short when it comes to, achieving those goals. And so that is what we want to look at tonight. We want to look at how we've been setting our goals and how we want to achieve them so that we can make 2024 a better year. But before we do that, I just want to say big welcome to everybody. Thank you for joining. I do not take this for granted. This is a Tuesday evening. I know some of us had a very busy day and we still made out time to join. I am super grateful for this. And I just want to say, I do appreciate your time. I value you. And shout out to all my Drivers Tribe community. I see Ediri, I see Dorika, I see Oluwabumi. I say thank you guys. Thank you for being in the community. Thank you so much. Yes, so let's meet you. Like I said, this is going to be very interactive. You don't want to come here and just sit down or do anything. So tell us where you're joining us from. Just tell us your location. And yeah, let's meet you. Where are you joining us from? Let's see who and who we have on the call. Thank you, Adrian, for putting on your video. If you can, I would appreciate that we put on our videos. So where are you joining us from? Kindly share your location. Would like to meet you. Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome, Ebitimi. Thank you for joining. Who else is there? Manchester, UK. Okay, so that was like a direct message. Manchester, UK. Then we have another UK. Well done. Shout out to my UK people. Shout out to my Nigeria people. Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Thank you, Dorika, my Tanzania queen, like I call you. Yes, thank you, Abby. Welcome. Thank you, Northamptonshire. Sorry, I'm still not used to pronouncing all those names. Yeah, Deborah in all. Thank you. These are the all people. We stay in Hall. So thank you. It's good to have you here. Anybody else? Jackie, where are you joining us from? We have Lagos, Nigeria. The Lagosians. Oh, Jackie's joining from Dar es Salaam. That's Tanzania. So we have another Tanzania queen on the call. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for confirming where you're joining from. So as at now, I would say we have 3 countries. Oh, I missed Calgary, Canada. How did I do that? Thank you, Oluwabumi from Canada. So we have 4 countries. Welcome to Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you. So the next thing I want us to put on the chat is, what are your expectations for tonight? Because we need to be sure about what the expectations are so that we don't lose track. Because if we don't know what the expectations are, and then, I might just be saying so I want to know if the slides are prepared are okay, or if I have to just quickly do some magic right now and change them. So tell us, what are your expectations? Olamipo from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you, my Lagosians, my Lagos people. Good to have you guys. I hope the heat has gone down. I hear it's really hot in Lagos right now. So what are your expectations for tonight? Position myself for career success in 2024? Absolutely. By the time we talk about how you can set your goals and slay your goals, you should be able to do that. Thank you for sharing, Ediri. Who else would like to share their expectations for tonight? A refresher about goal setting and some ginger. All right, don't worry, I'll ginger you. You get the ginger. Who else would like to share? I love that. Get some ginger. Your expectations for tonight. Let's have some up, guys. Someone says definitely ginger for me. Welcome, Adeyinka. Thank you. Shout out to Adeyinka. Thank you for always supporting me. You have no clue what that means to me. Thank you so much. Knowledge on how to ensure I achieve all my goals in 2024. Amazing, 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 amazing. That's from Itusi. Thank you so much, Itusi, for sharing your expectations. And then we have get motivation to achieve my biggest goal for 2024. Welcome, Chidebere. It's been a while. Good to have you on the call. It's my deadline year. Oh, deadline year. Okay. Then that feels like some pressure there. Learn how to review and tips to implement my goals better. Absolutely, Dorika. That's a good one. Queen Esther says, more understanding about goal setting. Yes, yes, yes. Ability to set goals and follow through. Yeah, I think we all need to follow through, actually. How to strategize to achieve the goals you failed previously. Absolutely. Year of consistency too. I love that. I love that. I love that. Actually, in one of the communities I belong to, I have a few of my community members. Queen Esther, shout out to the Superworking Moms here. This year for us was the year of consistency. And so you would see that in this year, I did a lot of things. And because we were learning how to be consistent in the things we do. So don't worry, Edirin, you're in the right place. Olamipo says, I've been getting ready to set and meet my next year goals for next year from now. So I'm here because I needed a very good guide. then got an email for this. I was so happy. Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Oluwabumi, thank you for putting on your video. Don't put it off. Achieving the goal that I set. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your expectations. And I would say that these expectations actually align with what I had planned for tonight. Let me not jump ahead of myself. Let me just go. But before we start, I want us to take this declaration out together. So if you would indulge me to unmute yourself and we read this together, because I want you to get the absolute, benefit for this time you've spent here. So we're going to read this together on the count of 3. So please unmute yourself and let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I value
myself and my time and that of others.
Hence,
Tonight,
actively
present and actively engaged throughout the session.
I understand the value
I
of
understand the value of
this
this learning opportunity and I pledge to immerse myself fully in discussions, activities, and shared knowledge. I will attentively listen, ask thoughtful questions, contribute insight where collaborative and enriching to experience of myself and fellow members.
Thank you, everyone, for picking that. You might be wondering why we're taking that. So let me tell you why you did that. So that by the time you're not focusing, your mind will say, you read something before you started and you're not focusing. Really, it's not a way to winch onto you. It's actually one of the ways we can actually get our goals done. And I think I would start from there. When you begin to say things, if you take yourself serious, a lot of people say things they don't value their own words. But when you begin to say things and you value your words, it begins to shape the way you behave. So if you say something like, oh, I'm tired. If you're always saying I'm tired, you will find yourself tired all the time. So tonight you've pledged, it's a pledge to be fully active in the session. And I'm happy that we are going to do that. So let's talk about 2023. In one word, can you share, and I just want to stop sharing here. In one word, can you share how 2023 has been for you? In one word. Let's put it on the chat room. Let's read. How has 2023 been for us in one word? Discovery. Amazing. Anybody else? Rebirth. Busy. Yes. Rebirth, busy. Good. Anyone else? Busy. Okay. Stressful. Wow. Sorry to hear that. But there are some years like that. Any other one? Yeah. So I think we have 4. I think I can actually, a breath of fresh air. I can imagine. That sounds like a good one. Well done. Well done. So if you were to rate your goals on a scale of 1 to 10, not how you achieved them, just the goals and the entire outlook of 2023, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, what would you rate 2023? Now, don't think too much about it. Just 7, 7. Oh, we have to 7, 6, 7. These are actually good numbers. 6, 8. Wow, Jackie, well done. 9.5, Chidebere. Amazing. 6, Queen Esther. These are actually good numbers. And because we are all above average, I'm so happy that what we're going to be sharing tonight is just going to give us that push we need. It means that we already are on the path of setting goals and achieving goals and making life, go in the direction we want them to go. However, we just need a little bit more. I don't know what Chidebere is doing here. If she has 9.5 over 10. I don't even have 9.5 over 10. Maybe we would hear from her as the session goes. So we're going to start with a poll. I have a poll for us. And the poll is going to take us about 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm launching the poll. Please do answer the questions. Now, don't think too much about the questions. Some of them will actually make you think. Whatever comes to mind first, please share. So I'm launching the poll, and there are 10 questions. So I'm thinking you should have about a minute for each of the questions. So it says, did you set goals for 2023? You answer. Your goals were in what areas? You can choose as many areas as you did. How did you track or measure progress of your goals? Were you motivated about your goals throughout the year? Did you achieve your goals? What did you do to achieve your goals? What were the challenges? What do you think you could have done differently? Share a specific goal you're most proud of accomplishing in 2023. And what lessons did you learn from goal setting and achievement? So I'm just going to, like I said, I told us to have a pen and paper, but you can do this. I'm going to just play music while we are doing that. We have just 10 minutes actually, and 1 minute per question. Let's keep our answers coming in. I see 2 people have finished. Thank you. That was so good. All right. Thank you, everyone that have filled. So we have just 1 minute left. And after that, we're just going to go. I will share the results, but we can't see the names. And the reason for sharing the results is because I just want us to know that you're not alone. For me, one word I would use to describe the year 2023 has been a year of growth. Growth in the sense that I've had to learn. In fact, I did more of unlearning than learning. So I needed to unlearn a lot of things and then relearn and then learn new things as well. And that really, really, really taught me a lot of things. I wouldn't say that I achieved all my goals. I wouldn't say I achieved all my goals. And but it's been very, 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 it's been a remarkable year with so much growth. And I just want you to know that wherever you are, you're not alone. And it's not the end. What matters is you being able to say, okay, fine, this is where I am, and I just need to do better in the coming year. So I'm going to end the poll and share the results. So let's get started. Yes, so I'm sharing the results. So the first question about did you set goals? We had 67 of us say we did set goals in 2023. That is amazing. And we had 33 say maybe, which is fine. So maybe could mean that they had goals, but they were not intentional about it, or things just happened, which is also fine. So your goals were in what areas? 67 actually did set relationship goals. That's very, very amazing. That's above average. And you might be wondering why relationship goals, because if you don't set relationship goals, are you aware that your relationships affect your life? If you are married in particular, if you have a very beautiful marriage, a very supportive spouse, you would actually have better chances of succeeding more because you won't feel restrained or, you won't feel like you have obstacles. And if you don't have people around you that support you, it actually hinders how far you can go. So I'm happy that above, the majority of us did have relationship goals. Career and business, 89%, of course, because that's where money comes from. So I'm glad that we also have almost everyone sharing, having goals for that. Finance, 67. Social life. It's funny that social life had the least number, 11%. Why? We don't like to enjoy life. All the work. What are we going to do? There's the story of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So sometimes we need to look at play as well. Health, 44% of us did, which is below average. And you see a lot of people, they have career goals, they have relationship goals, they have finance goals, but they neglect their health, forgetting that of all these things, if there is no health, there is no career. If there is no health, there is no finance. And then personal development, we have quite a chunk as well. How did you track progress? So let's see how people did track progress. So I'm just going to see the responses that people gave. Someone says, I didn't have an active system to monitor my progress. Someone said I had timelines to them. Someone says completion and achievements. So they were able to track after they had completed it. Someone says, yes, personal development, but yes for career, but not so much for personal development. Someone says, I had written them down, went through them quarterly. Amazing. Setting timelines. I measure progress, but if actually I had to achieve them on a consistent basis. So that means you also measured by achievements. Thank you, everyone, for sharing that. Were you motivated about your goals throughout the year? How many of us used to do New Year resolution? If you are guilty as charged, let me see. Just give me an emoji. New Year resolution, or you've left that gang. Okay, they didn't come today. People that do New Year resolutions have gone. So we've grown beyond New Year resolutions. Good. I remember there was a time that I was like, New Year resolutions. I'm going to stop taking sugar. I'm going to stop. By the time I get to February, the resolution I've even forgotten about it. Over average says they were motivated for the first few months. And this is what usually happens. Year in, year out, we set goals. And then you get to a point in the year, all of a sudden, you've lost motivation. Okay. Did you achieve your goals? Someone says kind of, everyone says kind of, some of them. Nobody got all their goals because we understand why. So let us not go there. None of them, nobody did that as well, which is so amazing. What did you do to achieve your goals? I'm just going to read a few answers about what people did to achieve their goals. Someone says, I prayed about them. I sought help. I stayed consistent in implementing them for some. Broke them down, wrote them down as my daily to-do list. I really just kept at it. Career was more of applying for jobs. For personal development, I bought books I haven't read in a long while because of schoolwork. Prayed and acted in direction of my goals. Wrote them out, set timelines, started anyway, put in effort. Amazing. I love these responses. What were the challenges? Now, most times we come to talk about our successes. Sometimes we leave out the challenges. So let's read out what challenges people had. And then we take it from there. The challenges, some goals I didn't have control over, time for self to work on there was no time to work on some of the personal development plans I had, lots of distraction. Someone says health, time management allocation, health challenges, schoolwork took most of the time with balancing family and work life, consistency and limited concentration span. I get tired of things easily. Balancing everything, health, finding a job has been a big one, somewhere beyond my influence. We can see a common trait that sometimes there are goals that are beyond our control of influence. And when a goal is actually beyond the control of your influence, now I'm jumping ahead of myself because I'm still going to share, then it becomes it's a 50-50 chance because you don't have complete control over what happens. Let's go on. What do you think you could have done differently? Let's read what people said. And as I read, I just don't want us to just listen. I want us to also pay attention to what other people are sharing because you could learn one or two things from it. What could you have done differently? Someone said, set time for intentionally implementing some of my goals, stay consistent, pray more. I don't know. Someone says, I don't know. Thank you for being honest. Self-care would have been priority, should have been priority, yes. Yeah, so we'll talk about that. Probably be more specific about my goal and breaking it down to know how I intend to achieve them and then be consistent. That's a good one. Stay focused on the end results, which would in turn reform my desires to achieve that goal. Prayed more about my goals. Started early. Asking for help from support systems sooner. Apply more. Work harder and harder. Trust my ability and try more. Amazing responses. And then share a specific goal you're most proud of. I think everybody should be happy now because this one is something we all want to talk about. Someone says, self-discovery, started my podcast. Yay, congratulations. Started writing my solo book. Congratulations. Getting a job. Congratulations. I got baptized. Congratulations. Finishing HTP was a spiritual reawakening for me. Hallelujah. Kicked off my multiple streams of income and got to finally invest in something tangible. Amazing. Forming a strategic alliance for my business. I love those responses. Well done, guys. Well done. Well done. 2024 is going to be way better. Way, way better. And then finally, the last question, what lessons did you learn from the goal setting and achievement process? I have to check on my goals performance periodically. Otherwise, I lose track of where I want to go. So many distractions. It feels good when I achieve a goal. Never give up. It's easier to set goals, but being specific about how one intends to achieve them is better. Words on marble. Act on things as they come. Stop procrastinating. Good. Just start, no matter how late. I didn't set goals at the beginning of the year. I set my goals in July, and I'm at least halfway through. Wow, well done. With God, all things are made possible. I love that. If you can think it, you can do it. Well done. Balance individual and external influence. Wow. I think even if it's just what we've done, I think we should just close and say, we're done. But I love the responses. Now, I remember a time I used to believe in que sera sera. I'm sure a lot of us have heard that word. Even though you don't speak French, you must have heard que sera sera. What will be, will be. And then when a new year is about to start, I am happy about the new year. I'm thinking of the food I'm going to eat at Christmas. I'm thinking of the clothes I'm going to wear. I'm thinking of the friends I would visit and the people I would go to. And then I enter into the new year with so much excitement. And then halfway through the new year, in June, July, I begin to get, not even halfway. I think sometime from April, May, I begin to grumble about the year. Oh, things are not happening the way I wanted them to happen. Things are going in a different way and all of that. And then I realized that I was not giving my life the direction I wanted it to go. If you are on that list of que sera sera, what will be, please exit that list tonight. Because you have within you the power to channel your life the way you want it to go. If you live life the way it comes, the life is programmed in such a way that it gives you what you want, not what you deserve or what you desire. So it will take you in a direction. So we are all moving. That's the truth. Everybody is on motion. There's no one that is stagnant. It's either you are moving in the wrong direction or you are moving in circles. Everybody's on movement. For you to move your life forward intentionally and in the right direction, there must be some level of intentionality. And that is where goal setting comes in. So we're going to just go right into it. Thank you everyone for sharing your responses. Before we go into it, I just wanted to have a few. How did we feel about that exercise? Maybe one or two responses. How do we feel about just writing that down? Can we share in the chat? How did that make us feel? Like an achiever. Wow. Great, great. Thank you for sharing that. One or two more persons opened your eyes. Amazing. That was a discovery. Anybody else? How did you feel doing that exercise? Appreciative to what went well. Exactly. Because sometimes you just look at your life and say, oh, nothing happened in 2023. I didn't meet my goals. But the truth is that some things actually did go well, and you should be grateful for that. Finally, I believe I didn't do badly. Yes. So give yourself a hug, pat yourself on the shoulder and say, girl, well done. You've done this. All right. So let's go on. Goal setting. Goal setting is how you can shape your life and make it go in the direction you want. You tried after all. Well done. If you want your life to go in a certain direction, one of the ways to achieve that is by setting goals. Tonight, I'm not going to focus on goal setting because all of us do know how to set goals. But I'm also going to touch a bit on goal setting just for us to understand how we can set goals better. But I know that we know how to set goals. So let's go to the next slide. What are the different techniques? Like I said, my focus tonight is not about setting goals. And the objective of this session is that by the time you leave here, you should be able to say, I have one goal and I know how to achieve that goal. Do you know that winners set goals? Losers set goals as well. When you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So whether you're winning or losing, everybody has goals. It's just that what we do about them is what makes the difference. So we've heard of SMART goals. So they tell you to set SMART goals, that your goal must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be achievable, realistic or relevant, and then time bound. So for instance, I see a lot of us not prioritizing our health in the responses, based on the responses, and you say, okay, I want to start a common one. I want to lose weight. Every woman wants to lose weight. And then you say, I want to lose weight. And then you write it down. My goal this year is to lose weight. That is not specific. That's not a SMART goal. So I'm just giving an example, on the assumption that I just want to refresh your memory. A SMART goal would be, I want to lose 10 kg by March 2024. So it's specific. It's measurable because you've set 10 kg. Now, it's achievable. It's achievable because if you're losing 10 kg between now and March, you have like 90 days to do that, which I think is achievable. Then it's realistic because you can if you put in the effort. And then it's time bound. You said by March. That is different than I want to lose weight. So we know how to do SMART goals. So maybe you've not been using SMART goals. I want to also encourage you to use SMART goals, because when you make them specific, you know what you're doing. A lot of us, we shoot ourselves on the foot from the get-go, from the moment we're setting the goals, because your goals are not even specific. So for instance, a very good one is that I want to improve my finances. I hear a lot of people say that. I've said that as well. So what does improvement mean about your finances? That's not a SMART goal. A SMART goal could be, I want to double my income by the end of month 5. So when you say you want to double your income, that means you know what you're currently earning. Maybe you're earning 10,000. You say, I want to earn 20,000 by the end of month 5. That's specific. That's smart. Don't just say, I want to improve my finances. Some people say, I want to save more. I want to save more is not a SMART goal. It's not a way to set goals. I want to save 10% of my income every month. It's a SMART goal. Now, most of the goals that you have, that maybe I would say your short-term goals, can be, you can actually apply the SMART technique to it. So your short-term goals are goals you want to achieve in 1 month, maybe even 1 year, between one day to 1 year. You can do SMART techniques. But there's also what we call the BAG goals. BHAG, the big, area, audacious goals. When we talk about the BAG goals, this is actually being used most often by organizations. So when you go to board meetings, you go to management meetings, you hear them talk about BAG goals. And BAG goals are actually for long-term goals. A lot of us were not, some of, and this is not to shade anyone, even myself, I find out that most times I focus on the short-term goals and I ignore the long-term goals. I was glad to attend a retreat, I think a couple of weeks ago. And in that retreat, we were made to just work on 5-year plan. And that was super amazing. I've had a 5-year plan. Maybe I've done it once or twice in my life, but doing it again with all the exposure I have, the knowledge that I have now, it makes a big difference. Big, area, audacious goals are goals that are actually, that would push you out of your comfort zone. They are goals that will not make you think small. And these have to be long-term. If you don't have your BAG goals, then you are not dreaming big enough. And every area of your life, remember, if you look at the poll, we add 7 areas: your relationship, your social life. And I'm going to talk a lot about social life because all of us have put it on the back burner. Your social life, your health, as well as health. Guys, prioritize your health. You see this body, it's like a cloth. If you wear it and you worn it out, it will not stand. So we need to prioritize our health. However, let me not get distracted. Let's go back to BAG goals. So when you think long-term, think BAG goals. These are goals that will push you out of your comfort zone. These are goals that will keep you awake at night. Like you're sleeping and you're like, no, how will I get this done? And then you can also think about OKRs. So sometimes I'm using some of those things that are used by organizations because management, as in the old principle of management, is being able to just manage yourself and push yourself forward to a particular direction. So we talk about objectives and key results. As an individual, what are your objectives? What are your key results? So for instance, you can set SMART goals. So for instance, you can say, I want to double my income by the end of March. That's in 3 months. That's a SMART goal, right? So what is the objective? What is the aim for doubling your income? What do you want to get out of doubling your income? So it could be like, I want to be able to start a business, or I want to start investing, or I want to even have money to go on vacation. So sometimes we have bigger goals that have, they give birth to smaller goals. However, we focus so much on the smaller goals that we forget that there's a more defined, I'm not sure I'm using the right expression now, but just, I hope this is making sense to us. And please, if whatever I'm saying is making sense to us, please do not hesitate to share something in the chat. It helps me understand that we're following, it's making sense to us. So for instance, someone says, oh, I want to be, one of my goals for 2024 is I want to go on vacation. Like I want to go on vacation. And so for me to go on vacation, I need to make more money to be able to afford it. So the key result is going on vacation. But for me to get to that key result, I need to be able to double my income to make more money so I can achieve that. I don't know if this is making sense to us because we just set SMART goals and we don't see the link between how those goals interact. When you begin to say that, okay, the reason why I want to double my income is because I want to go on vacation, you have a more compelling reason to go after that goal. I don't know if this is making sense to us. If you are still here, please put 7 in the chat if you're still here. Thank you, Ibitimi, for confirming. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And if this is making sense, please put a 6 in the chat. Let me just know that it's making sense. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I'm glad it's making sense to us because we just set goals. If you want to see a difference in the way you are setting goals and achieving them, you must have a compelling reason. The main reason we lose motivation by March or May is because we don't have compelling reasons. We don't have big, airy, audacious goals. So for instance, someone might say, oh, I want to have a job. Your job is not the key result. I hope you know that. So if you say that I need to have a job by May, oh, no, May is too far. If you're looking for a job now, you want to have a job ASAP. So let's say you want to have a job by January. That's a goal and it's specific. However, that's not a key result. Why do you want to have a job? When you begin to think about your goals in a different light, then it helps you to, it gives you the motivation to want to achieve it. For me, I want to be able to help people, become better, think better, achieve success. And because of that, I would say, okay, so what do I need to do? I need to learn how to coach. I need to learn how to train. I need to learn. So you can see that key result has given birth to other goals, which can now fall under the SMART goals. Now, what would be the big area audacious goals? To be the greatest mindset coach that ever lived. And that is my own goal. So when you do not understand what your key results are, you continue to set SMART goals, but you would lose motivation at some point because they are not compelling enough for you to pursue. We move on. So I want to say that's all about goal setting because I know we all set goals. Everybody sets goals. And now we want to talk about slaying your goals. Does anybody have a question about setting goals before I go on? Because we don't want to talk about setting goals. We're still going to have an activity at the end, but I just wanted to hear from us. Do you have any questions on setting goals, on what I've just shared, the BAG goals, the SMART goals, the OKRs? Anybody? Any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, please go for it.
Okay, so when it comes to big, hairy, audacious goals, wow, that's actually frightening.
Can't hear you anymore. I think she's having network issues. What's the role of an accountability partner in goal setting?
What if what you're doing now?
Do you want to take your question?
That's your big, hairy, audacious goals and vision. I'm thinking of it again. Like, what if your big, hairy, audacious goal, right? You're not yet in alignment. It's not a part of your everyday life because you just set it. Like, how do you set your big, hairy, audacious goal actually? Or is it something I know you pray about it, but how exactly do you set it? Because
thank you for asking that question.
You can't see into the future, honestly.
Yeah. So like I said, your big area audacious goals are long-term goals. They are not goals in the immediate. So for instance, my own goal is to be a renowned mindset coach. I might look like it now, but I'm not there yet. That's the big area audacious goal. And that will take me maybe 5 years, maybe more, who knows? So your big area audacious goals are your destination. Where are you going? Now, the SMART goals you want to set are, how do I get there? So for someone in career, they might say, I want to become a board member of organizations. So if I say I want to become a board member of organizations, that's a big, area audacious goal. You might even be a youth corper and you're thinking of becoming a board member. But that's where you're going. Now, what SMART goals can you now begin to set to get you there? Big area audacious goals are usually bigger than you. They are not something they would push out of your comfort zone. They would scare you. They will make you afraid. If it doesn't, because that's why we call it big area audacious goals. Audacious, you're doing is like doing something you are not capable of doing. And don't get me wrong, not everybody needs big area audacious goals. But if you're ambitious in life, you need big area audacious goals because that would keep you motivated. So for instance, someone says, I want to be as rich as Bill Gates. I want to be able to have conglomerates, have businesses. That's a big audacious goal. You might not even have up to $200 in your account. But that's where you want to go. Then you cannot begin to set SMART goals to get you there. Does that answer your question, Chidebere?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So someone says, what is the role of an accountability partner in goal setting? Now, I would rather talk about an accountability partner when you're trying to achieve your goals than when you're setting your goal. Except you're setting your goal as partners. What do I mean by that? So you want to set a goal. So for instance, except it's a relationship goal. Maybe for your marriage, you say, okay, you and your husband or your wife, you decide that, okay, we need to plan for the future. Okay, we want to be able to have 3 kids, or we want to be able to buy a house, and we want to hold each other accountable. That's different. But when you say accountability partner, it's somebody that will hold you accountable in your goals. It should rather be holding you accountable to ensure you achieve those goals, not to set those goals, because you know where you are going. Your partner doesn't know where you're going. And if you're involving your partner, now when I say partner, I'm not talking about your spouse. If you're involving your accountability partner in goal setting, they might be setting you up in a direction you don't want to go. And that is why we cannot outsource the role of our lives, the role of the direction in which our lives will go, to someone else. So when we talk about accountability partner, yes, we need an accountability partner to achieve our goals, but not necessarily to set our goals. I hope that clarifies. Yeah. Any other question before we go on? Okay, so let's move on. So let's talk about goal slaying. Earlier, I said that losers set goals, winners set goals. Everybody sets goals. The difference is that some people will achieve and some people will not achieve. Winners and losers. Those who achieve are winners. Those who don't achieve are losers. Have you seen people that they work so hard, they do everything, and they just don't get the results? You know, life actually speaks about results. I believe that, and I might be wrong. I'm just trying to I'm just trying to say what I believe. I believe that the reason why everyone is on this call this evening is because you must have seen 1 or 2 results of achieving goals in my life, and you believe that I can trust her to listen to her to see to whatever she wants to say about goal setting. True or false? Life goes in the direction of results. No matter how good you are, no matter how smart you are, if you're not getting results, people would not take you serious. If you're telling people, I'm setting goals, I set goals, and you're not achieving them, nobody will take you serious. And that is why tonight, I want to actually focus on what we need to do to actually slay our goals. And I'm using the word slaying because it's like something you have to, I don't want to use the word struggle. You have to be intentional. You have to put in the required effort to get it done. So let's start with your mind and your goals. So I have a question for us before we go. What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about your goals? The first word that comes to your head. Please put it down in the chat box. Let's have some contributions. Finally, money. It's achievable. Success. Good. The end results. Good. Everything we're saying are good thoughts. Risk. What is the negative thoughts that comes to your head when you think of your goals? Not possible. Failure. I can't do it. How? How to get them? Amazing question. Hard work. That is me. I always think hard work. Oh, I have to do this. It's hard. Failure. Debt. I can't achieve this. Can I shock you? When will it happen? Fear. Your negative thoughts, they carry more weight than your positive thoughts when it comes to your goals. Do you know that? And if I'm wrong, please feel free to let me know. Do you know that if you're afraid of your goals or if you think they are hard, most times you will think hard than possible? True or false? Yeah, I said your negative thoughts, they carry more weight than the positive thoughts. And I said most times when you think of your goals, let's say you think about your goals 10 times, 6 or 7 out of that 10 times, you will have the negative thoughts instead of the positive thoughts. True or false? True. That's actually my big deal. Yeah. We need to begin to understand that to slay your goals, it starts from your mind. Your mind is the powerhouse where you slay your goals. And I'm glad that all of us on this call are Christians, because at least I know everybody, and I believe I can be free to share about Christianity. The greatest gift you can give God is a renewed mind. No one can stop God's work in your life except you, except me. And it is all in the head. And like I said, I'm going scriptural here because I know we're all Christians. The Bible says that we need to hold every thought captive, not because, not because it's for fun, but because the negative thoughts, they tend to be more powerful. They tend to gain more roots. Let me not say powerful. Maybe powerful is not the word. They tend to gain more roots than the positive. When you begin to reprogram the way you think about your goals, you get on the first step of achieving them. Your goal might be hard. True, they can be very hard. They might seem impossible, but don't let that be your predominant thought when it comes to your goal. There's something about how we think. Your emotions affect your feelings. And when they affect your feelings, they give the output. So let me say, emotions will lead to a feeling and then lead to an attitude. I'm going to take that again. Maybe I should have even done that equation here. Your emotions, they lead to a feeling and then they lead to an attitude. And that attitude leads to an habit. So what do I mean by that? So for instance, when you think about your goal, you say, I need to write my book. Okay, I've been writing a book, so maybe it's a good time to talk about it. I've been writing a book. I'm not yet done. I'm almost done. But I remember when I was trying to write that book, I was like, so just sit down, I'll be writing. Where would the inspiration come from? And then that's my emotions. Then I feel like, oh, it's hard work. Oh, I'm not in the mood. And then the attitude, what's the resultant attitude? I don't write. And then what's the habit? I am somebody that I would become someone that would say needs to do something, but would think about it and then abandon it and not do it. I don't know if that makes sense to us. When you think of a goal you have struggled with this year, can you think of the emotions and the feelings that you have had that shaped your attitude, that hindered you from not setting that goal? You need to take control of your mind. Like I said, if you do not give your life a direction to go, the life itself will give you a direction. It will give you, low motivation. Yes, and where does motivation, now let's talk, I love what you've just said, Sophia. Thank you for sharing that. When we talk about motivation, where does motivation start from? In the mind. And it's not just in the mind, it starts from your emotions or your thoughts. So you think about it, I should write a book. I don't think I'm in the mood. You tell your body, you already thought about it. Then your body will say you're not in the mood. And then you abandon writing it. And then you move on. Or maybe a big one we should even look at is distraction. One of the things that are hindering us from slaying goals in this century is distraction. We're distracted. So many things, so many information, so many people talking, so many people on so many things on social media, things that concern you and the ones that do not concern you, so many things. So you say, oh, I want to do something. You're doing it. And then you just say, pum, 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 on your phone. Instead of you to say, okay, I'll come back to it. Your mind will say, take it. You don't know, you don't want to miss that information. You don't want to miss that information. And then you pick it up. God help you use Facebook or Instagram. And the first thing you open is a reel. Before you know it, you spend 30 minutes. And then by the time you are done, you have lost energy to do what you need to do. Your emotions, your thoughts would affect the way you slay your goals. As you go into 2024, if there's anything you need to do, you need to reprogram your mind. You need to reprogram your thoughts. Your thoughts will tell you. So if you say, oh, I'm tired, your body will begin to feel tired. I don't know if you noticed it. So sometimes I'll come back from work and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. And the moment I just think that in my mind, then my body feels like it doesn't want to do anything. In that I don't want to do anything, if I see maybe on social media or maybe there's a movie that I like or something, all of a sudden I have ginger again to go about it. Yeah, someone is asking the question, can it also be the work? Yeah, it could actually be the work. So sometimes there could be genuine reasons for not wanting to do what you need to do. Because if you are stressed, and that is where your health comes in, that is where social life comes in. If you don't have enough fun, some of us that are mothers here, our problem is actually we've not had fun in a long time. When last did you take yourself out? When last did you go and dance? Dancing alone would take off bad energy and bad vibe for you. We would not go into that tonight. Procrastination. What if you're actually tired and need rest? Yeah, that's where self-care comes in. We get tired. We're not machines. When you're actually tired and you need rest, take a rest. Because you need to be alive. You need to be strong to slay goals. But if you're always tired, now, can you always be tired? Yes. If you're not taking care of your health, if you're not exercising properly, you're not drinking enough water, you're not eating the right food, you would always be tired. And that is a legitimate thing. Because I've been in that place of my life where I was always tired and I was always having headache. Tired and headache. And it felt like, oh, maybe I was falling sick or something. I just realized that I was lacking water, exercise, and that was it. Water and exercise, and that was it. And that's why your health is also very important. You need to prioritize that. I'm not going to stay much on that. And then we'll talk about motivation. Another thing that would help you slay your goals is motivation. How many of us know what motivates us? You know your motivators. You know things that, your triggers, things that motivate you. If you do, put yes in the chat. I know how to stay motivated. I know the things that give me motivation. If you do, put yes in the chat. Anyone? Yes. So how often do you use that? Do you know that we all need a dose of motivation on a daily basis? For me, when I wake up and I have music in the morning, gosh, I'm charged. Like my days, I'm ready to face the day. But when I wake up and I'm talking, maybe I have to prepare my child for school, and then we're shouting, "You are late, you are doing," yeah. Before the day begin, I'm drained. If you know what motivates you, can you begin to give yourself that dose of motivation? For some people, it's sleep. You know, if you don't sleep well, me, I'm talking to myself. Sleep is another motivating factor for me. If I don't sleep well, I'm not motivated to do anything. So I don't joke with my sleep. I sleep well. Sorry, I don't do 4 hours. I do 7 hours per night. I cannot but do 7 hours per night. I love my sleep. Do what works for you, because at the end of the day, you want to be in the right frame of mind. And so maybe I should just even say this. Sometimes all those bad thoughts you're having is because you lack good sleep. Have you noticed that when you're tired, all sorts come to your mind? And that's the truth. Everything about your body is wired the same way. For you to stay, you cannot be tired. You to find out what motivates you and give yourself that dose of motivation. Very important. Another way to keep motivated is through your thoughts. How do you perceive your goals? How are you thinking about your goals? If you think about them in a different way, if you're not thinking about them in the way you should, and if you do not have a compelling reason, someone says, "Oh, I want to be rich." It's a goal, but that's not a smart goal. So why do you want to be rich? I just want to be rich, Noni. That person doesn't have any motive. There's nothing motivating that person. But when you say, "I want to be rich so that I can build a conglomerate, so I can help people, so I can," when you think about, "Oh, my not pursuing my goals is affecting the lives of people that I'm supposed to be helping," you will get motivation to get up and do the needful. If I use the case of a mother here, so when you know that, "Oh, if I don't take care of my children, or if I don't cook, they'll be hungry." Have you seen a day you are actually very tired and healed, but you still find that dose of energy to go to the kitchen to make food for your children? Why did you go? You had a compelling reason. That was your motivation. You see how parents will send children to school, even with their last penny, because they know that those children are their future. They are like future investments. That's motivation. What is your motivation? What is the compelling reason for you achieving your goals? Some of us, we don't even know why we want to achieve those goals. So if you do not know the reason for those goals, you might not be motivated. You might be losing motivation from that. So when you know your reason and your reasons are compelling, don't just have any kind of reasons. It helps you keep motivated. Now, this is something I want to spend a little bit of time on, because this is where we get to drop our balls. Action planning and systems. Not everybody, a lot of people, including myself, we drop the ball when it comes to executing on our goals. Most times when we do not achieve those goals, it's not because they were unachievable, but because we could not plan or implement the right strategy for execution. Let's talk about systems. When we talk about system, so I'm going to use the analogy of how God works. So for instance, when we wake up, what wakes us up? There is daybreak, the sun shines. After a while, it begins to go dark, and then the moon comes out. Imagine if God had to go in the morning and put on the sun, and then in the afternoon, he puts it off, and then in the evening, he puts on the moon. I'm sure one day he'll be tired, or maybe he'll probably sleep off and even forget to do that. And all of us will just sleep for 48 hours. That is what some of us are doing. You have goals, but you don't have systems in place to help you achieve those goals. And you're expecting not to be burnt out or overwhelmed or discouraged or lose motivation. How many of us brush our teeth when you're having your bath? You brush your teeth when you're having your bath. Just answer with an emoji. Or maybe the first thing you do is to wake up and then go brush. Are we still here? I think we're not here anymore. Okay, I can see 2 people. Okay. Yeah. Good. Good to know you're here. Thank you. Do you know that, and I'm being honest here, don't laugh at me. Sometimes when I don't have my bath that day, I might not brush. I'm being honest. Because the moment I go to the bathroom and I want to have my bath, I brush. Do you know that that's a system? Somebody said absolutely. Thank you, Jerry. I have someone that is like me. Don't make me feel like a bad person. Do you know that the moment I don't have my bath, to be honest, I'm more intentional even when I don't have my bath to brush. But most times I nearly usually forget. And then I'm like, oh, why is it that when I want to have my bath, the first thing I do is I take my brush, and then get into the bathroom. I don't even have to think about it. What I have done is I have created a system unconsciously. Some people that are serious about going to the gym, what do? They pack their gym clothes, they put it close to their bed. When they wake up, that's the first thing they see. What does that do? It gives them the reminder that you need to go to the gym. For those of us that are Christians, when we wake up, the first thing we do is, thank you, Jesus. Some people have big Bibles by their bed just to remind them that before I do anything, I need to pray. As small as that sounds, that is a system. I'm giving these examples because I want us to understand systems. I don't know if it's making sense, just type 1 in the chat, please. You need to have systems. When you build a solid system, goal achievement becomes very easy. Someone says, I want to read books. Some people, because they want to, so for instance, on my working table, I always have my Bible. Because me, I don't put my Bible by my bed. I don't want anything to disturb my head. I love my sleep, so I want to sleep well. But I put my Bible on my working table. So when I'm working, it's right there. It reminds me that I have to read my Bible that day. That's a system. Some people, they want to read books. They have the bookshelf by their beds. But don't be like the people that will create the system and not follow it. Some of us are very bad. We will still have that system and not follow it. You just ignore. Like you set alarm to remind you to pray. When the alarm goes, you just snooze it or you stop it. We need to create systems around our goals in such a way that they help us to achieve them. And then when you create systems, now this is what systems does. Systems are not supposed to help you achieve your goal. Systems are supposed to give you tiny bits of progress towards your goal. Can you think of a system that can get you 1% better on a daily basis? The issue that I've realized personally is that up until now, when I want to work on something or when I want to improve myself, I want to improve myself now and get it done now. Can you begin to think about 1% on a daily basis? Why do we have to brush our teeth every day? Can you imagine what will happen if you don't brush your teeth for 1 week? Your mouth will feel heavy. It will smell. So wait, is it the brushing that you brush one day that is making your mouth clean? No, because you are brushing it on a daily basis, it is refreshing your teeth, giving you a healthy teeth. And that is 1% daily. When you think of your goal, what can you do on a daily basis to take you 1% closer to that goal? John Maxwell says success is in daily habits. Some of us will say, oh, I want to write a book. You're waiting for that day. You will have 10 hours to write that book. It will never come. Can you think of 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and say, this 10 minutes, I just want to write. And then you write for 10 minutes, you put it down, look for another 10 minutes on a daily basis. Before you know it, you would have completed your goals. Some of us, we want to build intimacy with God. We want to grow our spirituality. We want to pray more. Somebody say, I want to start praying in tongues 1 hour. They've not started 10 minutes. They want to jump to 1 hour. It will be very hard and you lose motivation. And you begin to think about systems, build systems around your goals such that you can begin to work on a 1% better every day. I believe in this principle, but I don't know why implementation is hard. Implementation is hard because you don't have a system. See, a system is, so when we talk about a system, when you think of a system, let's think scientifically. Thank you, Dorica, for bringing this up. A system is like an automation. It works automatically. Do you think too much to brush your teeth when you go to the bathroom? You don't. Sometimes you just do it. It becomes natural. So when you put a system in place for your goal, it has to be like an automation of how to get your goals achieved. Now, systems for everybody will be different. So one example that is coming to my mind, someone says, I want to be able to save more. I want to save 10% of my income. One system you can do is to do a standing order. Thank you, Abby. Unconscious competence. Yes. One system is to put a standing order. As money is coming in, standing order has taken it out, or you do a direct debit. That's a system. You don't need to think about it. For those of us maybe abroad in the UK, in the US or Canada, you know how it's easier here actually. When you compare to Nigeria, it's actually much easier. There's a way you can do it in such a way that you have as money is coming into your accounts, your rent goes directly. If you pay the rent, your water bill, your tax, everything is building a system. To build a system, one needs consistency and international. Yes, absolutely. It's not the day you build that system, it becomes a system. Because for it to become a system, there has to be repetition. It's a repetitive action. And the repetitive action is just to aim for 1%. Don't aim for the whole chunk, just aim for 1%. Build systems. Systems, see, if you have systems, so for instance, we've talked about savings, standing order. Another thing that comes to mind, you want to drink water more. Some of us don't take enough water. And I'm actually talking to myself. I find that I've been struggling, especially in winter, I struggle to take water because the weather is very cold. What do? Have a bottle. Carry a bottle everywhere you go. By the time your hand is paining you, you drink the water. That's one way to start. Another system is, okay, if you want to learn to drink water, wake up in the morning, the first thing you do, drink water, take water. And then before you go to, I can see Bumi drinking water. And then when you go to bed, drink water. Yes. See, if you don't have a system, trust me, goals will be very hard. Goals will be very hard. System is the way to slaying your goals. And that is where the action happens. The problem with system is that you don't see the results immediately. And if you're not consistent, if you're result-oriented, you will tend to give up and say, oh, I'm doing it, I'm not seeing the results. And that is what happens with people that want to lose weight. You see someone says, I want to lose weight. They will go to the gym. Why? They will do 21 days gym. They will do keto diets. They will do intermittent fasting. Once they do it, they will say, I've only lost 2 kg. This thing is not working. They drop it. Why? Because they were expecting to lose 10 kg in 1 week. Instead of saying, okay, if I can lose 1 kg in 1 week, 1% better. If you don't remember anything I shared tonight, just think about 1% better on a daily basis. Systems is the way to achieving your goals. If you can build systems around your goals, then you will get it right. You want to get a job. Now, so you need to also know where your circle of influence ends. To getting a job is not just by It's not just within your circle of influence. It's dependent on the organizations, the recruiters, and all of that. So that might be a bit different. But you can also build a system in place such that what kind of jobs am I looking for? So I'm looking for a customer service job. I'm looking for a managerial role. And what do you need to do? Do 2 types of CVs and do a managerial CV, do a customer service CV, such that every time you see those roles, you don't need to tweak your CVs again, you just send it. That's one system. Can we begin, as we go into the new year, can we begin to think, okay, these goals that I have, what systems do I need to put in place? Because we need to think systems. Why do you think a lot of companies are going automation? They're doing automation. Why do you think there is AI? Because we want to be effective. We want to be more productive. We want to do better. And for everyone on the call, you're going to get the recording because it's not something I want us to take time. Even me, I'm going to watch it again because I know that some of the things I'm sharing, I need to hear them again myself, because these are some of the things I've learned recently, especially this year. Like I told you, this year has been a year of growth for me. I've learned a lot. And I'm so excited and pumped about 2024. You need to build systems. I'm not going to talk so much about that. Let's go on because our time is fast spent. Then execution. When you build systems, you follow up. You take the action. Don't say, oh, I've built the system, and then you go to sleep. You can't. We should end in about 30 minutes time. Jackie. Yes, I think you missed that when we started. So I actually shared when we're going to round up here. Execution. Do the action, do dirty work. Get to work. And now let me just go on. And then we have visualization. Visualization is where you begin to see your goals. A lot of us, the reason why we are losing motivation is we don't have our goals in front of us. There's this saying that says, out of sight is out of mind. I remember when we were in secondary school that we had boyfriends. Sorry, some of us had boyfriends very early. So we had boyfriends, and then like, I can't do long distance relationship. But once I go to the university, I'm no longer your girlfriend, because it doesn't work. If you have a goal and you're not seeing it on a daily basis, you can't remember it. You can't. So visualization is where you write. Visualization helps you write. It helps you track unconsciously, and it helps you. So I remember when I wanted, and I've shared this several times, so please permit me to share again. I remember when I wanted to buy a car when I was still in Nigeria, and I decided that I wanted an SUV. The moment I made up my mind I was going to be a RAV4, everywhere I went, I saw RAV4. And I began to ask myself, were they not there before? What happened? My attention had shifted. Visualization shifts your attention towards your goal. Don't set a goal in 2024 and go and keep it at the back burner and forget about it and expect it to come to pass. Put it where you see it on a daily basis. In fact, a lot of Christians, this is what they do. They say, if you're believing God for something, go and write it down, be repeating it to yourself. You have to. Yes, thank you, Sophia, for sharing that. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Thank you for sharing that. Does it mean that we need to set a system for every goal? Not for every single goal, but there's a way you can bring a system together. And we're going to look at that before we go, actually. Accountability and tracking. Now, this is where accountability comes in. If no one is holding you accountable, do you know that accountability is another system to ensure that you're on track? In 2024, can you choose somebody that you'd say every month or every quarter, I want to have a meeting with this person and they should ask me what I've done with my goals? Before then, you would have shared your goals with them. And then you have a meeting and say, goals review. A lot of us, we don't want to be held accountable. And then we're thinking of, oh, how am I going to achieve them? Oh, I'm not achieving my goals. Then tracking. Whatever is not measured cannot be improved upon. Whatever is not measured cannot be improved upon. How do you know if you're on the right track? Some people say it's until you achieve it. Good for you that you're achieving it, but what happens before you achieve it? Do you know that there are some goals that the process of the goal achieving or achievement is more important than the completion of the goal itself? But if you're not tracking, how do you get the learnings in between? So I'm going fast now because I want us to do an activity before we go. Then challenges. A lot of us do not prepare for challenges in our goals. What challenges does is that it helps you to remain flexible with your goals, but not losing direction. So if I say that, I want to be a mindset coach, that's my example, and I want to do that in the next 10 years or 5 years, then all of a sudden, I'm not able to train people, I'm not able to coach people. I say, okay, I'm going to take a break. That's a challenge. But it doesn't stop me from where I'm going. What goal do you have for 2024 or 2023 that you could not achieve because of challenges, things beyond your control? Can you be flexible in your approach? Can you be flexible in the systems you're building for it? And then go to the direction. So for instance, you want to go to, for those of you in Nigeria, you want to come to the UK. You can decide that you will take a direct flight. If you cannot afford a direct flight, you take connecting flights. Whatever flight you take should land you in the UK. So when challenges come, they shouldn't change you from your goal. They should make you flexible and think of new ways to achieve your goals. But some of us, the moment we see a challenge, we get stopped, we get stunned, we get shocked, and then we stop in our tracks. We don't know what to do, and then we give up. Challenges should make you think, okay, so what next should I do? How do I now re-strategize? Someone is asking a question, how do we track our goals? Is there like an app for it? Well, there are apps where you can put them and then it will remind you. But I think accountability and monitoring, have a meeting with yourself every week. How did I fare this week? Or every day, every month, every quarter as you want. Or have an accountability partner. Get someone to hold you accountable. Share your goals with the person. Have periodic meetings. Talk about them. Talk about the strategy for them. And that's it. Challenges, yeah. And then milestones. Another thing we forget to do is to celebrate milestones. We think because we've not reached the finish line, we're not doing well. No. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a hug. You're doing well. Celebrate milestones. Sometimes the milestones will even let you know how you're faring with the goals. People that are result-oriented like me, we always look at the end result. But we forget that before the end result, there are milestones. So for instance, if your desire is to double your income, even if you get £1 or $1 plus what you're currently earning, it's a milestone. You need to celebrate that. And then, okay, ask yourself, what did I do to get here? What can I do to get even more? Remember, 1% better every day. Now, 2024 goals. Before we go into this session of 2024 goals, I want to take a pause and ask us to give us room to ask questions. Do we have questions? Any questions? Has it been making sense to us so far? I hope this has been making sense to us so far. Okay, so since there are no questions, let's go to the 2024 goals. So what we want to do now, because we're
sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so I think there was a time you mentioned where you've done everything and nothing is happening. So at that point in time, what exactly do you do? What does one do?
So when you've set your goals and it looks as if nothing is happening, then you need to check if you have a system in place. You need to look at the approach you're going through. Remember, there's always things that are within your circle of influence. If everything within your circle of influence you have taken care of, and then if it is outside your circle of influence, that's a different thing entirely. You have no control over that. But whatever is within your control, check the systems you have put in place, check your execution, check your tracking, speak to people. You might need to re-strategize because, like I said, when you have challenges, be flexible. You might decide that, okay, you want to be a medical doctor, but the person is doing JAMB or trying exams, is not being good getting medical doctor. Can you start with nursing? Can you start with pharmacy or something? But you know that in the end, this is where you want to go. I don't know if that answers, but I think that should
All
be.
right, okay. All right, let me be specific. In case of job application and you've been applying during interviews and at the end of the day it's looking as if nothing is really happening, even when you try to have say a role play before the interview, you know, just to make sure that okay, you're on track, you know what you're doing. And you know, even during the interview you get say positive feedback saying, oh, you did well, like, oh, we love what you said or what you did. But at the end of the day, when the response will come, you get an unfortunate mail, and that is like on and on and on.
So obviously that is not within your circle of influence. And another thing you need to ask yourself, you need to honestly review how you've been doing the interview. If you're in this part of the world, like in the UK, if you go for an interview, those white guys will laugh at you. They'll tell you did well, but they won't take you because they're not honest with you. They are not honest. They just don't want to hurt your feelings. That's it. So you need to actually get honest feedback. So one way to get honest feedback, can you write back to those companies and say, what exactly happened? Why didn't you pick me? Because during the interview, you said I did well. You said you like me. Tell them you need the feedback for you to improve upon yourself, not because you need the job. And then they will tell you the truth. You see those white guys? I'm not trying to be a racist, but they will laugh. They'll say, oh, well done. Oh, bless you, my dear. Love you. I lie. But always ask for feedback. Why didn't you take me? What didn't I say well? What were you expecting? What were you looking for in that role? Or where maybe, and another thing, they might think you're not a cultural fit. So you need to ask for feedback. And they would give you the honest feedback if they are really, really nice people, like you think they are. But really, that's out of your influence, circle of influence. So just check what you're doing, check your CV, check the way you're attending interviews, get the feedback, and then try to do something different.
Okay, all right then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's see. I think, how about when you achieve something else that wasn't your goal to begin with, and you know that if you continue, it may take you away from your goal? What do you do then? And that is why you need to have a sense of direction. A lot of people are busy, but they're not busy doing the right things. There's something I didn't mention in tonight's session, is the place of identity. A lot of people that have worked with me, they know I love to talk about identity. There's a role your identity plays in your goals. So for instance, and I'll just give a sneak peek. If you want to become a writer, your goal is not, I want to write. Your identity is, I am a writer. You know, when you say I am a writer, it carries more weight than I want to write. What does a writer do? He writes. So you want to pray. I'm a person of prayer. That's my identity. When you have that sense of identity that this is who you are, you have no choice but to pray. How can you be a Christian and you're not praying? Then you don't know what your identity is, because a Christian prays. So if your goal, if you've achieved something taking you away from your goal, then you're heading in the wrong direction. There are a lot of people making progress, but in the wrong direction. A lot of people. You see them on social media, on Instagram. They're making progress. They're making money. Don't equate money, wealth, fame, popularity for success. Success is relative. Any other question? So I want us to, before we go tonight, I want us to just pick one goal, and then we'll talk about what system you need to put in place and what we need to do to achieve that goal. Adenike, please go for it. Adenike, you have your hands raised.
Yes,
please go for
yes,
it.
yes. I just wanted a quick question. So you know, you were talking about
things that are in your sphere of influence and the things that are not in your sphere of influence. Now, there are times when the things are truly in your there's no clear mark, there's no clear demarcation of what is what is really in your sphere of influence. Like you said, you've been on the right track, you've been doing well, and you think things are, you've been meeting your milestones, but all of a sudden the whole thing collapses, something that is totally out of your, there was nothing, you didn't see it coming. How do you get back on track after that kind of thing?
Yeah, so that is where resilience comes in. And I'll share a story. This is the story of my life. I remember some of you, I don't know if you watched my masterclass where I shared about my journey in the UK and all of that. And then in about 2-3 months ago, we had investors meeting in the office. And because as the head of sales, I had to present, and then I did the presentation. And right there, and then investor says, we're pulling out of this business. Prior to that time, I didn't know that investors owned 100% of the business. So when they said they were pulling out, that means the business existed no more. Did I see that coming? There's no way I could have, except if the spirit revealed that to me, So when things like that happen, ask yourself, what could I have done better? In that case, there's nothing I could have done better because I'm not even aware. So what do? Pick up myself and move on. That's where resilience comes in. The truth is that things will not always go well. And I don't know why I feel like I should also say this. Sometimes you might actually even be within God's will. You might be in God's will and it will not go well. God's will led Jesus to the cross. Remember, I'm not sure what king it was in the Bible. They went to God. Should we go after these people? God said they should go. They killed them. The second time, God said they should go. They killed them. They were in God's will. So sometimes you might be in the will of God and it will not go well. What is God looking for? He's looking for your response, your trust, and your obedience. So when things like that happen, because that is life and that is absolutely out of your control, ask yourself, is there anything I could have done better? If there's none, pick up yourself and start again. As hard as it is, that's what you need to do.
Okay.
And that's where you need a support system, because if you do not have a support system of people that think that way, then you would, one thing I didn't share today is I didn't talk about environment. Your goals will not be achieved in every environment. You need to know the right environment. If you take ewedu or whatever, if you take jute leaves, it's called jute leaves. If you plant them in a soil here in the UK, it might not grow. But if you take it to anywhere in Nigeria, it will grow because it's the right environment. So sometimes you might not be in the right environment. That might be the reason you're not achieving your goals. Yes, Oluwabumi, that takes us back to the issue of identity. Yeah, it does. I hope that was helpful.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's quickly take one goal because we have just about 10 to 15 minutes left. Who would like to share one goal they want to achieve in 2024? Let's think about the systems together. Let's look at the action plans they need to take, and then we'll wrap it up there. First person. Everybody's smiling. Okay, only Bumi. I can actually see only Bumi there. Everybody's other videos are off. Anybody? Thank you, Adinka. Good to see your face. If there is no goal, we'll just go on and close for the night. First step, buy land. Thank you. Okay. Jody wants to buy land. So Jody, you'll be ready to share with us. So Jody, how much would it cost you to buy the land? Let's start from there. You need to talk. Okay, you're here. Good.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi.
So around 2.5 million or 3 million.
3 million. Let's say 3 million. Why do you want to buy the
land? Because it's a good investment. Sorry.
Good investment. Okay. So
Yeah.
Jody wants to invest. I hope that so the goal is not to buy land. The key result is to get an investment. So Jody, if you buy that land, do you want to build on it or you want to sell it later when it appreciates?
I want to do both of them so I can spare them, sell a part and build on the other one.
Okay. So Jody wants to invest, and to invest, one of the things he wants to do is to buy a land. Do you have the money ready?
Let's say almost.
So
If
when you say
things
almost,
are,
do you have 50%? Do you have 10%?
yeah, 50%.
So Jody needs 3 million. He has 1.5 and he wants to buy a land. So now everybody's going to think about it. So I've given us the key resources to invest. The goal is I'll buy the land so I can invest. He knows how much, 3 million. Now, the one more question, Jody, before I allow other people to share. When do you want to buy the land?
I hope to buy it next year, 2024.
When
I hope
in
it should
2024?
be, let's say July.
July 2024. So we're talking about,
Yes.
we're talking about 7 months from now. So
Yes.
everyone, based on what we've shared tonight, what do we think? What systems does it need to put in place to be able to get this done? Anybody? Are we still here? If you're still here, please put 6 in the chat. Let me know we're still here. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we're here. Good. So what system do we think you should put in place to get this land done? Consistent allocation of funds to an account. Yes. So Jody, if you want to buy the land in July and you have 1.5 million, that means you have 7 months to save another 1.5 million and then buy the land. So the first thing you want to do is to, like everybody's saying, aggressive savings. Probably fix what you have, like 6 months while saving more. Yes. The money you have, go and put it in a fixed deposit, fix it, and then get a direct debit from your account to another account. So direct debit is a good way. Anything that has to do with savings or finances, direct debit is a good way to go about it. So get a direct debit every month. They just remove the money. So you know that if you want to save 1.5 million in 6 months, we're looking about maybe about how much is that? Sorry, pardon my maths. I studied French. I didn't do maths. Sorry. So 1.5 divided by 1.5 divided by 6. So you're going to save about 250,000 naira every month. So what location? Somebody's asking you, Jody, what location do you want to get the land? So you need to find out where to get the land as well. Thank you for that question. What location do you want to get the land?
Yeah, I have an idea. So actually, I'm in Togo, so I want to buy it in Togo, not too far from the main city, Lomé.
Okay. So you also want to start looking for areas where you can buy the land. Look for the location. I think once you save, then you just plan to go and buy. I think your goal is actually very easy. The only system you need to put in place is the savings, and then maybe get someone to help you look for a good location. That's what I think you should do. Does anybody have anything they would like to add to that before we wrap up? Okay, So to wrap up, Oluwabumi, please go for it.
Okay, I wanted to say that since he has an aim and he knows the idea, if possible, that he sits to calculate how much he gets in a month and allocate the percentage that will be able to meet up with what he has to meet up with the 3 million. Like, okay, if he's earning 250, like the percentage, like maybe if he's half, whatever, I don't know. Of course, there are other responsibilities but to look at how that can meet up with whatever, even as he has the other one fixed and is expecting something in return.
Yeah, that's true, because if he's not even earning up to 250, then it might not work. Thank you so much for sharing that perspective, Oluwabumi. Jody, you have your hands raised.
Yeah, actually, that goal seems easy, but what I've noticed is that once my savings start reaching, when my savings start increasing, there's always issues, always things that come urgently and make me spend. So it's becoming like an increasement, decreasement. So I don't know what the real issue is.
So I think for you to just answer short responses, budgeting. So if you like, we're all Africans, right, on this call, and we have family, we have nuclear family, extended family, everybody thinking, especially if you're abroad, they think you have money, and everybody is saying, then you have to budget. Except it's a matter of life and death. If it's not a matter of life and death, do a budget and stick to your budget. So in your budgeting, how much do you want to give out to people every month? So for instance, there's what we call zero budgeting. And you have just gone ahead of the other things I wanted to share. There's what we call zero budgeting. Zero budgeting means you allocate all your resources without anything left at the end of the day. So if you want to give somebody, for instance, if someone says, oh, I need help, if it's not in my budget, I won't do it. Except the person is about to die. I'm sorry. It will look as if you're wicked, but that's the truth. I'll tell them, can you wait till next month? This month is not part of what I'm spending on. So you need budgeting. You need budgeting, because if you don't stick to your budgets, the more money you make, the more expenses that will come to you. What usually happens is that your expenses rise to the level of your income. And that's why you see people running to get more and more and more and more. And then the more they have, the more expenses they have. And prayer, yes, absolutely. So we've done Q&A, and then I just wanted to talk about the five-week bootcamp that will be happening in January. So it's Fit to Fly. I've done Fit to Fly before. I did it 2 years ago. So Fit to Fly is back again this year. And it's a 5-week bootcamp, Saturday and Sunday, back to back. We're going to be looking at the wheel of life. So I'm going to come back to this. We're going to be looking at the wheel of life at the bootcamp. One sec, please. So we're going to be talking about relationships, spirituality, finances, career, business, social life, health and fitness, personal development for 5 weeks. So you can see that there are about 7 of them. We're going to be doing our goals. You create systems for your goals. I would share the templates that I used for my goals this year with us, so that you can use it and just plan for your year as well. And it's happening in January. A comprehensive 5-week bootcamp empowering you to thrive across all facets of life. So I have myself, we'll be talking. I have Detola Amore. Some of you have met her as well. She's my coach. I have Ajara Piton. She'll be talking about social life, how to enjoy your life. Those of you that are in the abroad and you've never had vacation, please stop it. Don't try it this year. You need vacation because it makes you feel better. Bumi smiling. Then we have Fumi Onamusi, who is a business strategist. She'll be talking to us about finances. We have Ifo Ekomoni, who is the life coach she's a health and fitness coach. She'll be talking to us about our health and our fitness. And it's going to run between 20th January to 18th of February, 2024. It is not free, it's paid. However, we have early bird. So if you pay between now and 31st of December, if you're in the UK, you pay £40. If you're not in the UK, you pay $50. If you're in Nigeria, it's 40K. If you don't pay between now and 31st of December, then you pay £50, 63K or 50K at the end of January, or before the program starts. It's going to be for 5 weeks. If you will not be ready to work, then don't bother, because it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. You have all the recordings to yourself. You can watch them later on. We're going to prepare you for 2024. And then, second bonus, you can join Thrivers Tribe now. I'm opening the doors of the community free to everybody. So if you want to join the community, you don't have to pay anything. Join us. We'll be learning a lot. There'll be a lot of masterclasses. There'll be a lot of freebies. And then you'll be the first people to hear about the programs that we're running. And then you also get discounts to some of the boot camps that will be running next year. And that is all from me. Thank you. But before we go, please feedback. I'm going to put up a poll for feedback, and then we would do the last comments. Please kindly help fill the feedback form before we go. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, the poll is on. It will just take a few moments, please. And if you would like to join the community, please do let me know. I'll send you the link. In fact, I should drop the link right here for those who would like to join the community. It's free now, so you have no excuse not to join. And then if you want to join the boot camp, I would also, you can't see the poll. Oh, yeah, I've launched it. Can anyone see the poll? Please let me know if you can see the poll. Please, if you're logged in on your phone, you might want to maybe minimize some things. So that's the link to join the community. If you want to join the community. Okay, one response already from the poll. Thank you. We have 10 people on the call. Please, let's give feedback. It helps us to prepare better for other masterclasses. Okay, but you should be able to see it. I'm logged in on my second phone as well, and I can see it. So you might want to go to the main page. I can see it as well, Sophia. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Let's keep the poll coming. Thank you for joining. I look forward to seeing us at the boot camp. It promises to be fun, especially because we're going to actually create systems for your goals, every of your goals. All the people coming to speak, these are people that I really, really cherish. They've been a blessing to me. They're my coaches, they're my friends, and I've learned a lot from them. So I look forward to having us. Please do reach out if you would like to know more. For those in the community already, please, let's do this together as we've always done. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a good evening.